my friend, are you a small business owner that loves God, family, country, and capitalism? If so, guess what? You're in the right place. Welcome to the War Plan Briefing. My name is Josh. I'm super excited you're here. And yes, we're going to talk about the recession again. I know I'm a broken record, but I'm doing it to serve you. I'm doing it to help you. This one idea that I'm about to unpack and reveal to you might save your company, or worst case scenario, it might make you an extra $63,214 this year. I don't know. It depends on the size of your company. Maybe it'll make you $576,000, or maybe it won't make you a lot, but it'll give you an epiphany and you will now know and understand things that most people don't. Definitely your competition doesn't, and that's pretty valuable by itself. Would you agree with me that nuance is lost in today's world? You know, we live in a cancel culture world, right? It's because people are so hypersensitive of everything. But one of the things I notice is that nuance is lost. People don't focus on nuance. Everybody jumps to conclusions. If you've ever seen the movie Office Space, which is like a cult classic, hilarious movie with the two Bobs, the consultants that fire everybody, one of the guys that gets fired, he has this invention idea, and it's called a jump to conclusions mat. Do you know what I'm talking about? Will, anybody? Sean? Oh, okay. No, the young guys are like, I don't watch that movie. I don't know what you're talking about. But maybe the editors can find the jump to conclusions mat and put it up as a graphic right here, okay? And the people that get it will get it. But people jump to conclusions. Here's the deal. In life, nuance is critically important, but nuance requires effort, right? To notice nuance, to notice it in music. If funny enough, I'm not like an artsy-fartsy person, but I've been training my daughters and my sons on how to listen to music. You know, we listen to music for fun, all kinds of music, huge variety of music, but I'm teaching them how to listen to it. Now, they can listen to it however they want. I'm teaching them how I do it because it's deeper, it's nuanced, and I'm training them to listen to the ear candy that's buried and nested underneath the music, right? We'll listen to the same part 4 times, and you can hear 4 new things by the time you get to the 4th time. And if you start listening to the music differently, you consume it different. You get more value out of it. You can hear things other people can't hear. You can see things other people can't see. This is true. It might sound cheesy, but it's true in business. Some people can just see opportunity, and other people, it's invisible to them. Some people could buy your broken business and fix it immediately and triple it fast. And they're not geniuses. They just understand nuance. Okay, so this video is not about nuance. It's about positioning. And so you might have heard as a business term, the word positioning, the power of positioning. I'm going to at least attempt to break it down in a really simple way. The way that I use positioning when I'm helping people that pay me lots of money to fix their marketing or to improve their marketing. You know, some of these companies are doing millions and they want to do tens of millions, and they'll pay me $100,000, and I'll say, all right, lay it on the table for me. What do we got? And this is one of the frameworks I use to understand it. The first thing is really simple, okay? There's 3 core markets. Russell Brunson really popularized this, although he didn't invent it. The 3 core markets are health, wealth, and relationships. And so I don't care if you clean toilets or you install retaining walls. It doesn't matter if you're a roofer or a sprinkler irrigation company. It doesn't matter if you're a massage therapist or you have a dry cleaner. There's 3 realms in which all of our businesses are nested underneath, and it's health, wealth, and relationships. Now, that by itself might take you a minute to be like, well, I clean houses. Which one is it? Well, that's what positioning has to do with. It probably could be all of them. When it comes to your marketing and your advertising, especially when things are slowing down or the economy is getting weird, what's really important and helpful for you to do is to get way ahead of all your competition in the way that you talk about and explain or position the stuff that you have for sale. And maybe you've done it the same way the whole time. You have a dirty house, I can clean your house, transaction, done, wash the hands, good, right? And that's fine, right, to a certain level. But if you want to make more money, or if you want to grow faster, if you want to charge premium prices, what positioning does is it acts like a dog whistle. And if you understand dog whistles can't be heard by anybody but dogs, right? And it's a whistle that's perfectly calibrated to the wavelength of a dog that a dog's ear can receive, right? We want your marketing to be like that. And so for example, if you live in a market, and this is very situational, it's a little bit abstract, but hang with me. If you live in a market where tons of people are single for whatever reason, right? Like Miami, okay? You might live in Miami. There's lots of single life stuff happening in freaking Miami, okay? If you're marketing and you're using like married sounding things or soccer mommy sounding language, not might, it will not perform the same that it would in Springfield, Illinois. It's different. It needs to be positioned different. So let's talk about health, wealth, relationships. That's the number one thing I want you to understand. The second thing I want you to understand is that underneath each of these categories, health, wealth, relationships, you can use positive or negative positioning. Positive or negative. Let's do a dance routine. Positive or negative positioning. Positive. Say it with me, everybody. Positive or negative. So think health, wealth, relationships. There's positive and negative. Let's do one at a time. I'm going to do a super basic example that I scribbled before I hit record on this video. Okay. We'll talk about a pressure cleaning company. But before we do that, what positive and negative means in terms of positioning, it means, are you going to position your offer, your service, whatever it is you do you want to position it as something that avoids pain, which would be the negative way of doing it? Not negative meaning bad though, okay? Negative is perfectly fine. But is a way of avoiding pain, or do we want to position it as pursuing pleasure? Because humans are hardwired, generally speaking, to be more motivated by avoiding pain or avoiding loss than they are by getting something, right? People are more likely to buy a painkiller than they are to buy a vitamin, for example. But both of these are billion-dollar markets, so they both work. It just depends on your service, your personality type, what you test, your market, the time of year, the economic conditions. There's all these things happening. Are they renters? Are they owners? Do they have 3 kids? Do they not? Are they grandparents or are they young parents? All these things matter on how you own a position. So this will make sense when I read you the examples. Example number 1, if you're a pressure cleaning company, let's say I wanted to position you as a health benefit, right? I'll do the positive and the negative. So I'll do one version where I'm going to position my offer as a pressure cleaning company to avoid pain. And then I'll do a different version, very simple, on how to position it to pursue pleasure. Does that make sense? I don't know. We're going to find out together. You ready? Okay. Number 1. Avoid toxic debris or bugs. Okay, let me unpack that for a second. So let's say that you wash houses with a pressure cleaner and you want to have a headline on your postcard and you want to have an ad campaign for your door hanger or your flyer, or you want to knock on doors and have a script that your salespeople follow. Well, how we position it matters, and we need to test different ones. Well, we could test the health category and make the argument that the Geocaspia magma, which is the bacteria, that the airborne algae that eats the crushed limestone in your shingles, that's pooping on your shingles, is like gross and it's not good for your health. Or the mold and mildew in the artillery fungus, I think it's called, artillery fungus, is spraying stuff on your siding and it's a mess and it's disgusting, right? You're a clean person. I'm a clean person. We need to disinfect your house. If we're going to position it that way, we use words like disinfect. We use words like protect, right? We allude to the fact that we're going to save something from bad from happening. We're going to prevent bad things happening. We're not running towards awesome stuff. We're stopping the bad things from happening. And it's also under the umbrella of health. It's almost a health choice to wash your house. Does that make sense? Now, we can take the same freaking company that washes houses and I can position it positively or towards pleasure still in the health market. The way that I just really quickly came up with was, you should exercise at the country club, not by wrestling a pressure washer. So maybe you're talking to the homeowner and it's like, look, exercise is cool, but don't do it by washing your own house. Go to the country club and exercise. Be healthy, but you're not going to be healthy by wrestling a pressure cleaner. You're not going to be healthy by falling off a ladder, right? Let us do that stuff. And that's not the greatest example in the world, right? But hopefully you can see the contrast between the negative and the positive. The avoiding loss, pursuing pleasure. Like, go to the country club, go play golf. Go play golf while we do this. You go do thing you want. You go do insert thing that's pleasurable to them. We do this, right? Let's go to wealth. So remember, we have health, wealth, relationships. If we're in the wealth category, how do you sell pressure cleaning and frame it and position it as something to do with their money? Right? Does that seem weird? It's not weird at all. It's actually easier than the health one. The health one was the hard one. This one's freaking child's play, okay? So the way that we negatively position it, in the way I would suggest you testing your marketing right now, going into high interest rates, going into a slowdown, a contraction, a recession, is you want to use language like, during these hard times, it's more important than ever to protect your biggest asset. Are you picking up what I'm throwing down? Are you hearing me? Look at me in my good eye, okay? This one, zoom really, really far into this one. Look at me in my, do you understand? We're all selling pressure cleaning. All of your competition just has a house wash, $490, and they leave it on someone's door. That's not marketing. They're going to make money. It's a commoditized way of making money, but they're not going to build an empire doing that. So just language changes totally changes the way your stuff feels, right? And now the positive version, or the pursuing pleasure version of the wealth category for a pressure cleaner would be, to increase the value of your home by cleaning it up. How much will your equity go up after that retaining wall is installed? How much will your home's value increase when it's the cleanest one on the block? Maybe they're thinking about listing their home during good economic times. And we want to use language about, you're going to get more money than you give us to clean this. We want them thinking those types of thoughts, right? And then last but not least, let's talk about relationships. If mama ain't happy, ain't nobody happy. You can do campaigns saying, look, you got your honeydew list 6 months ago. The honeydew ain't doing. Like, you're the honey. You're not going to be a honey for long, and the doing ain't being done. So you're about to be in trouble, pal, right? We can do that, and it's funny, and it uses humor, but it's like, hey, don't let your wife be mad at you. Like, just within 48 hours, we can have this emotion and the problem be solved. And it's a relationship frame. It's positioning it as, you need me to spray high pressured water on your siding so that your marriage is better, right? You need to give me money to spray water on siding so that you don't get divorced. You're kind of saying that without saying it. And of course, the positive version would be, spend your weekends dating your wife, not washing your house. Do the thing you want. Do the positive version of it while we do this thing. So look, go back and rewatch this if you have to. But what I want you to mainly take away from this is that the way that you sell the stuff you have for sale changes entirely the outcome. That's what nuance means. You have company A that passes out their flyer, company B, they have a refined script. Their enthusiasm on the phone is different. Their inflection, their pacing, the tonality, all of it's choreographed better. It's different. The headlines, the language, the way the sales guy presents stuff to them, the way the sales guy gives them 5 prices but scribbles out 3 because they don't need those ones, which establishes more trust. And then when they hire that company that's $200 more than you, hopefully you're starting to see why. It's because they pay attention to nuance, which is lost on most people in today's society, unfortunately, but not you. I know not you. How are you positioning your stuff? We got health, wealth, relationships. We got avoid loss negative, pursue pleasure positive. All of them are valid. Play with it, have fun with it, get in a big room with big ceilings and let your head explode with creativity. I hope this makes you a whole bunch of money. And if it does, or you think it will or could, will you leave a comment? Will you actually like this thing? Will you share it with someone? Will you actually text it to someone and be like, bruh, you need to learn about positioning, bruh? Will you do that for me? It would be a big deal. It'd mean a lot to me. And until next time, see you in the next video.